Welcome to Sharper Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet. We are part of the Volume Podcast Network. This is the betting show that makes the squares sharper, makes the wise guys pay attention. I am Chad Millman. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, my companion, my BFF, my compadre, professional bettor, Simon Hunter. Hello, Simon.
Chad, what's up, brother?
Well, listen, we've kind of entered Buy-Mageddon. Do you know what that means?
Does it mean there's a bunch of bye weeks?
That means that there are 6 teams with buys this week. That is the most of any bye week in the NFL. So that means we don't get to fade the Raiders. We don't get to wring our hands about the Rams. We don't get to wonder in awe at Sam Darnold. We don't get to think about how we're going to bet the Los Angeles Rams. We don't get to wonder if Jacoby Brissett will keep his job as the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. All those things are off the table. Our options will be severely limited, both for betting and for Survivor. Also, I'm sad to say, it's time for you to get a haircut, my friend.
Yeah, it's welcomed. I'm looking forward to it.
Look, we went 2-3 last week in our 5 favorite picks. We won with the Browns and then the Lions last night. We lost with the Chargers as favorites and the Texans and Titans as underdog. All 3 of those games, we were undone by the AFC South. The Colts crushed us with the Chargers. The Texans could not do anything. We're going to get into that. And the Titans, there was no bounce, but it was just a dead cat. So 21-14 for the year with our 5 favorite picks through 7 weeks. Tough one. All right, this is our Tuesday show. We're going to review the entire slate. Make sure you check out the Sunday AM show if you want the games that will be our official 5 after we've had a chance to review. I know before we get into the slate, we will be relaunching our free-to-play contest. I know people are frustrated who have listened to the show for years, and we've had this contest, and now we're talking about a different contest. That's just the breaks of the game. We're really frustrated by it. We're bummed by it. But the good news is, because Hard Rock is benevolent and knows how committed our audience is, we are going to be relaunching the contest. We're just getting through some of the final sort of wranglings. That contest will have dynamic lines. Those are going to be the lines that we're always going to be talking about and referencing. So we will dispense of talking contest lines during the week. I think that has been causing some people some confusion as we have gone through the season. Rest assured, when we are talking about the games we are betting, we are as explicit as possible. Like, we say we like a game, we like a game. We give a number that we like that game up until, and we will keep talking about how we're betting that game and at what number regardless. So I want there to be clarity on that. I know there's frustration and confusion, but we will be very explicit about the show and the lines we are betting when we are talking about this on Tuesday and Thursday. Don't forget, get the shows at Sharper Square on YouTube. Go subscribe and like this video while you are at it. You can subscribe to Sharper Square on Apple Pods, Spotify, wherever you get your pods. We got some Thursday night football on Amazon Prime. Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Chargers. Lines ticked up, Simon. It's gone from 2.5 to 3. Feels to me like that could only be a wise guy move. And I don't get what anyone who's sharp is thinking about if they're piling in on the Chargers, unless they're just thinking, I want the number at 2.5.
Could be. Just also, it's a short week. Can this keep getting worse and worse for this Chargers team? That they've just been embarrassed. They've been terrible this year. So I'm with you. If I take a position, I'll take the 3.5 on the Vikings if I can get it. Just a bad game. Like, how do you trust either side? You trust Carson Wentz? I mean, not really. I guess we trust Flores' defense, but with Herbert, we've seen it time and time again. He can play really well for a quarter or two, get big leads, and If they can figure out some things on their defense, they can get stops against Wentz. They should win this game, but I just cannot trust this Chargers team. I know it's like we keep saying every week, and it keeps missing. They're at the rock bottom. The books keep moving their number, but yeah, for them, you got to pray if you're betting the Chargers, you get Joe Alt back, because this could be a long day with that front line against this Chargers team for the Vikings. So yeah, 3.5. That's the key there. It's like Hard Rock's at 3. I'm not in a rush to play either side at that number. Like you said, the sharp side probably was Chargers minus 2.5. That's a fair bet, but 3.5. Once we get to that number, it's like, okay, I'll on a short week, I'll take KOC against a Minter defense that's just been terrible. Chargers defense has not been good.
Look, they've been as bad as this offensive line has been, and it's been dreadful. Like Justin Herbert is playing with guys in his lap on nearly every play, and they can't get any rush game going. But this defense is just that's what upset me on Sunday. Is it just looked like they rolled over every single time the Chargers offense got anything going. They made a little bit of a comeback. They put a dent into the lead against the Colts. The Chargers defense just laid down and gave it all back. And to me, that's as big an issue as this offensive line. And unfortunately, this Chargers defense is kind of healthy. Like it's not sort of cluster injuries that we've seen on the offensive line. It's the standard injuries that every NFL team gets, and they're not able to really respond to that right now. And their defense is getting worse and worse every week. There is a little bit of drama. Kevin O'Connell would not commit to Carson Wentz as the Vikings quarterback after their loss to the Eagles on Sunday. He even dropped the name Max Brosmer, their undrafted free agent, second-string quarterback from Minnesota, Golden Gophers, on Sunday, like saying if Carson couldn't go back in because he was beat up, we were ready to put Max in. So I feel like there's a lot of frustration. I'm glad we are agreeing that this cannot be a game we are committed to. Thank God. Thank freaking God. Look, can we say the same about the Miami Dolphins traveling to Atlanta, where the Falcons are 7-point favorites? We are going to talk about the betting on this one. But first, I want to play this clip that I came across yesterday. I just loved it. It's got disgust, disappointment, frustration. It sounds like a parent who has had it with his kids doing the same stupid shit day after day after day, and it's just gone full exaggeration mode. Take a listen.
Yeah, he's going to take the snaps this week, and he's going to be our starter this week. And my expectation is that we don't throw 10 picks.
Dude, come on. How many coaches, like, I know we're sort of waiting for Mike McDaniel to get fired, but how many coaches get up there and are so sarcastic? They're like, 3 picks, 10 picks. We all know what I'm talking about here. 2 has been trash. I loved that clip. Loved it. I love Mike McDaniel for saying it.
Honestly, I'm going to give him respect. I think it's a higher level than that. I think he's doing to Tua what Tua did literally the week before, which is throwing his defense under the bus because he had a good game. Like, he came back against the Chargers. He felt like he did his job. So he came out and just threw his defense. And now, he's going out there just throwing Tua exactly what Tua did the week before. So I'm shocking. It feels like that's actually a little bit of a higher level there from a guy I am with you. Feels like everything he says is nonsensical. He's a very out there kind of guy, but I kind of get it. I kind of get what he's doing there.
That's really interesting. I didn't get it at all. I totally thought of that as something very superficial slight.
I think that was layered right there. Because why would he do he's never done something that egregious or insane. Right.
He's always very sort of supportive.
Yeah. Again, when he's nonsensical, okay, he's just a crazy person. But that was like, he was dialed in. He was ready for that one. That one was in the back pocket. So my model likes Miami. It's probably a good Miami number. I can't do it. Can you? Do you have the confidence?
Well, here's the thing. I'm glad to hear you say that. You and I have not talked about this game.
No.
My models are flashing green for Miami.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Mainly because of the spot. Exactly. teams getting blown out, teams being undervalued, bad teams off a loss, being undervalued.
Right. That makes sense.
All of it is, if you do any kind of sort of situational or top-down betting, this is what you do. You bet Miami. And look, it has come down a little bit. It was 7.5. It's come down to 7. So somebody's taking a piece of the Dolphins. But
that would be nice,
situationally,
7.5, obviously.
Situationally, Bijan Robinson may run for 10,000 yards in this game. Like the Dolphins, 31st in EPA per run, 32nd in success rate, 30th in explosive run percentage allowed, 28th in yards allowed after contact, 32nd in yards allowed per game. So it's rough, man.
Yeah, and we've talked a little bit Atlanta. It's an interesting team because their quarterback is so young and new. And you saw in that, 49ers game, they did the best they could to just put it all on him. Again, we haven't even talked about 49ers yet this week, but like that, well, the job Sal is doing, that coaching tandem might be the best in the league. So Penix, just seems like he's a different quarterback on the road overall. And, this season, we've seen it this year. He's just better at home. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's inside control weather. I don't know what it is, but he dominated, or I didn't say dominate, but he played really well against a Buffalo team. Like he just didn't turn the ball over. He kind of played inside of his game. And Washington, they put up 34 points. We've seen them on the road. A Carolina game, that was a big deal. That was an interesting spot. So, them losing 30-0, then they go on the road against 49ers. They lose 20-10. The offense is just anemic. Without Fred Warner, without Nick Bosa, and they still couldn't muster more than 10 points. Here against Miami, it's all right. This should be the spot for Atlanta. So maybe I'll be patient, let it get to 6.5. But if it does ever get to that 7.5 number, I have to take Miami at that point. It's just Tua indoors with his offense and that run game. They're going to put up points. That Cleveland, that's not who they are, that Cleveland game, right?
Yeah.
Even as bad as Miami's been this year, they've moved the ball and put up points in controlled environments pretty well. So we know what we're supposed to do, Chad, here. I think we both we're so grossed out, disgusted by the way this team is and the way they are going this season. I don't want to put my money with Miami.
Chicago, Baltimore. Baltimore is a 6.5 point favorite. It's just been sitting there. You pegged this one on Sunday night, looking to take Baltimore. You said to be patient. I actually thought it might come down a little bit, but if you look at the juice, it's kind of trending towards 7. I'll spare you a lot of my strategic thoughts, but shoot, I'm starting to fall in love with Baltimore here. It's not a Chad's choice, but it very nearly was.
Yeah, I really like the Ravens for the spot, but the fear would be just Lamar isn't fully right, and we're betting into something we have no knowledge of. We have no idea if his hamstring is healed and if it's Lamar the old. Because we talked before he sat out, I couldn't get over the guys chasing him down that Chiefs game. It was like you had people in sports media be like, he lost a step, and it's like, no, he didn't lose a step. He's still a young guy. He's just hurt. He has to be hurt, and that's the fear. Is we're betting into a guy we haven't seen play at a high number, but I just agree with the market. It's -6.5. I think that's right. If he is fully go and practice, moving well, I mean, they're going to get guys back on their own defense too. The Ravens here. It's just a terrible spot for this Bears team. They're just walking into a team with a month of frustration, fully healthy after being well rested by a week. It's like, can the Bears do it? Yeah, we've seen them pull the rabbit out of their ass a couple of times this year. They've been, like we've talked about, they've been one of those impressive teams that they're going to earn that right to be a wild card team if they keep winning those close games. So could they play it tight? Sure. But the Ravens we know, the Ravens we bet, usually this is the type of game they absolutely roll. It's an NFC team. Lamar just doesn't lose to them. It's a game where even if you're not confident about this Ravens team, you just got to trust the number. If this was a fully healthy, we knew Lamar was all good, this would probably be closer to 8.5, 9. So I think we're still getting value on this line. I'm going to take it. I'm happy to hear that you're on it as well, the -6.5.
I feel like you just talked yourself into it while you were talking. When you started that conversation, you're like, I feel like it's priced right.
Well, it
And
feels
then
easy. That's the scare. It's
Well,
like, why
I-
is it so low? I can't believe this isn't 7.5.
actually, well, to me, I'm having a really hard time gauging how good the Bears rush D is right now. They've definitely been better after the bye. They still gave up.
Don't get sucked into that.
Well, that's the thing. Like
Look who
they still,
played.
guy, I'm getting there. I'm not.
Okay.
Guy,
I don't know why you bring it up though. It's like, dude.
Well, they still gave up 120 yards to the Commanders in
Right.
Week 6, and Jayden Daniels with a bulky knee had no problem slipping by their rush. And I keep thinking what like Jayden Daniels or what Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry can do. And listen, this Bears rushing attack, like, can they beat up on a Ravens D that is 29th in EPA, success rate, and DVOA? But like you said, Roquan Smith will be back. They should be fully healthy in the secondary. Maybe they get some support in the run game by bringing their safeties up a little bit. Like, I'm not overly impressed with the Bears winning 4 games in a row. I'm happy the Bears have won 4 games in a row. I'm afraid they get blown into Baltimore Harbor with a lot of confidence brewing for this team. That's why I like Baltimore.
Yeah, I think we're both on the same page. It's really just about this Ravens in a get right spot.
Baltimore Ravens -6.5. Cleveland at New England. New England is a 7-point favorite. We know what we do here. It's Patriots or pass.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. If people are wondering what models are going to pick, models are going to take the Browns here. That's a Browns line. You have a inexperienced second-year quarterback going against what most computers are going to view as a juggernaut defense. But we told you, like, we keep hammering home. I just don't trust Cleveland's defense to travel, let alone a rookie QB in the Browns, who I don't trust at all, having to make big-time throws in this game. So I'm with you. I hate that I'm being scared off by the number, but it's also like this Patriots team. I know you believe the Drake May stuff. I go back and watch his stuff, and it's like, dude, this kid, he is very talented, but the throws he makes and the stuff that's working out for him are just absurd right now. Like, he is playing as like the top 3, top 4 quarterback in football right now, but it's not gonna last. It's not possible. I know football fans don't want to hear this. I mean, holy hell, how much noise did I hear from Jayden Daniels fans telling me I don't know what I'm talking about? There's not going to be a year 2 letdown. The book, it gets out on you, and injuries come, and you play a certain style. So Drake May, I think he can last, but the hits he takes, I'm sure you've seen it. The hits he takes, I just don't get it. Like, I watched the game, and it's like, I can't believe this kid is making these plays after taking these big shots. Not just at his head, like his shoulders are getting hit too. Like, whole thing's crazy. So yeah, it's number wise. Like I said, my model is at 6. I'm still going to take the Patriots. I probably would still take them if it was -7.5. I have no interest or faith betting Dillon Gabriel on the road or that Cleveland defense on the road. So yeah, I hate it because it's like such a brown spot, but yeah, I can't do it. Got to take Patriots on that number.
I don't know that it is a brown spot. And to me, it really is not even about their defense. Like, we know that we want to fade the Browns defense on the road.
Patriots can't run the ball. You know that, right?
Yeah, they can't run the ball.
So that's why it's a brown spot. Like, you can make a one-dimensional Drake May. That's where you want to be.
But here's the thing. To me, it's not about the Browns defense. It's all about Dillon Gabriel against the Patriots defense. And I've said this for 2 weeks. Christian Gonzalez, he doesn't get mentioned in the broadcasts. I watched almost that entire Titans-Patriots game. I watched it so our fans didn't have to. That's the kind of sacrifice that I make for the people on this show. They don't mention Christian Gonzalez because you can't throw in his direction. So all of a sudden, Dylan Gabriel, who already is disadvantaged, who already isn't very good, who has escaped by the skin of his teeth and having Tua throw 3 picks and, one of them in the back of the end zone that led to a touchdown and one of them was a pick six. And then Quinshon Judkins running for 40-yard touchdowns. Like, if you look at what the Browns did this past weekend offensively, they didn't do anything. So I don't know what they can scheme that could get them into the end zone unless there are just dramatic broken plays. You kind of got to bet on that. And I don't want to bet on hoping the Browns can create some kind of havoc, or because I don't know that Dylan Gabriel can take advantage of it. That's why, Simon.
I might have to get back on Twitter and just start tweeting out Christian Gonzalez is disgruntled and the Eagles are looking to get him for a 3rd, 4th round pick. I'm about to start tweeting that out every day just because I cannot take every week A.J. Brown and Patriots fans being like, yeah, I heard the Eagles might give him up for a 2nd or a 3rd. Even after he had a huge week, I'm still seeing people be like, I still don't think A.J. Brown's happy. I still think he wants out. It's like, oh my God, this is never going to end, is it?
New York Giants at Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are 7-point favorites in this game. You were surprised by this one, that it was so high. And I thought on Monday, it looked like it was trending towards 6.5. There were some 6.5s out there. But now this morning, it's at 7. You look at the juice, it might be trending to 7.5. 2 weeks ago in New Jersey, a game that the Eagles got doubled up on and lost 34-17. The line was Eagles minus 7.5. If you take sort of traditional point spread math, that means the Eagles would be about, let's say, 10-point favorites in a neutral site, which means they should be 13-point favorites, in Philadelphia. If you give, say, 3 points to home field advantage, let's say you're only doing 2. Let's say it's 12. Isn't that some indication right now of how the bookmakers have adjusted the Giants and the Eagles, and how bettors have adjusted the Giants and the Eagles in their power ratings?
Yeah, and I don't know why my mind went right to it. All I can think of is we've only played one Thursday game in our contest, and we lost it. It was the Rams. We've hit every other Thursday game, and we have not put any of them in the contest. Just sums up this year in a stupid way. Yeah, I don't get this one because I didn't get why the line, like I said, was so high still. And what are we missing on this Giants team? Like last week, people were coming in on Denver, and I just didn't get it. And it's like, am I adjusting too much to this Giants team, or are people still not rating the free playing Dart style? Like he's not thinking, making big throws. And Cam Skattebo, I can't believe it's worked out. Like I remember him coming out, I was like, there's no way this stump of a human's going to work in this league. And he's a beast, man. He runs through dudes' faces every week. He's just in the right scenario, right spots. He really is like a mini bus. He's just a beast. So I don't know. I feel like the Eagles are the right side, and I'm getting psyched out too much by this Giants team, but I just don't trust this Eagles team. Like I'm having a hard time trusting them because they're just not consistent offense or defense. They're half teams, and it's been bizarre. Like they've had the hardest schedule in all of football. They are 5-2. It hurts. I've saw some crazy stat. Through 7 weeks, he's number 1 ratio, touchdowns, interceptions. He is 2nd in ADOT. He is 5th in passer rating. He is 7th in total EPA, and he's 7th in completion percentage. And it's like, just at the basis, he's having a great season, but I just don't think as a team they are. Like Saquon, we've talked about, he's not running right. He doesn't have 100 yards from scrimmage this year. It's bizarre. So I don't know what to do with it. I think I am supposed to be on the Eagles. My model says I am, but there's a part of me that's just like, are we just all still undervaluing this Giants team? They're going to hit a wall. They're going to fall off a cliff eventually. I just don't know if it's this game yet. It's tough to guess. So I guess I'll trust the model here, try to take my human aspect out, and I'll give out the Eagles still, and I'll bet the Eagles. But I felt way better at 6.5, like you said. Now it's getting closer to 7.5. So I'll take the 7 now before it moves to that number.
I thought the Eagles would hit the wall last week against the Broncos. I think we're all waiting for the fall because Jaxson Dart is playing kind of out of his mind. And he's doing what a lot of great quarterbacks do. We see it with Jayden Daniels. We see it with Lamar Jackson, where he's getting his team into position to convert third and longs because if he sees the opportunity to run in a wide open field, he's just going for it. And he's finding a way to get that first down in what seemed like impossible situations. And that's debilitating for a defense and morale crushing for a defense. I like the Eagles have been so, like you said, a little bit off, a little inconsistent, and Jalen Carter will disappear, and then he'll have a game like he did on Sunday where he had 7 quick pressures, like pressures of a very specific amount of time or less, or 6 maybe, and that was more than the entire Eagles defensive front combined. And that normally comes from defensive ends. So
did you see who unretired?
Yes.
That's
how bad it is. Brandon Graham, who was an Eagles legend, going back to their Super Bowl against the Patriots and playing last year after a season with a torn pec, and it was going to be his last season, has unretired to come back and play.
That's rough.
That's not a savior situation. That's a desperation situation.
It is, but I told you before he went down last year, he was our best D end, like statistically. So I'm happy he's coming back. He said he didn't want to retire. Howie basically told him, like, dude, you got the Hollywood ending. Like, give it up. So it's nice to know he still has the fire in him. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, man, it is dark, dark times right now for Philadelphia that we are trying to get our old players to unretire because we need them. I mean, Jason Kelce, if you can still do it, brother, we need you. Come on back. Honestly.
Yeah, this is just a hard, like you're going to take the Eagles at 7.
It's tough.
I'm uncommitted on this game. Like I kind of hate everything about it because
that's fair.
The Giants keep breaking.
There's a lot of games I hate this week, so
yeah,
I'm with
and there's not enough, and it's hard because there's so many buys. But like the Giants keep breaking.
Well, the numbers are getting sharper. I mean, that's
true.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
The Giants are breaking the mold, and the Eagles. Are you betting what we've seen all year? Or are we betting what we saw last week, which is their best complete game? And even then, they kind of got away with one. So it's tough. It's really, really tough. San Francisco at Houston, bouncing back and forth and back and forth. The Texans have been favorites as high as 2.5, even heading into last night's game. It settled around 1.5. After the game and their loss, it flipped to Niners minus 1.5, Texans plus 1.5. Now Texans minus 1. Simon, what say you?
Chad, this is Simon Says. Give me Houston minus 1.
I want to play a game. Simon Says.
And
Simon Says, presented by Hard Rock Bet, or the Houston Texans minus 1. Give it to me.
And you're right. It's been flip-flopping. Obviously, much rather have Texans as a dog. Would have been nice, but unfortunately for me, the professionals have the same idea as I did. It's just a nice spot for this Texans team after last night. Did you stay up or did you actually go to bed?
Dude. Listen, I went to bed, but, you know, the Lions game lasted so long that it went past what I was hoping would be my 10 p.m. bedtime. So I did end up, and then I started watching the Mariners Blue Jays, like it was the 8th inning, and I wanted to see what was going on. So I saw the end of that game. I got to see the George Springer home run, and I watched until the end of the game, and I multi-viewed with the Seahawks and Texans. And look, like that was discouraging. It was disgruntling if you had bet the Texans. Even the 5 minutes I watched, Texans forced 4 turnovers. They scored 1 touchdown themselves on defense. They blocked a field goal. They had back-to-back turnovers to give the Texans a chance at the end of the game, and the Texans could do nothing with it. Like, this is a pathetic offense. True, and it's such a bummer they're wasting such a good defense. So tell me why we're going to bet the Texans this week.
There you go. Yeah, man, it was just all CJ. Like, we should have covered, even maybe potentially won that game 1,000 different ways, and CJ was just awful. Had an off night, and that's honestly why I like it. People are just, they're down on Houston already this year. And after that type of game where CJ, to me, it was probably his worst game of the year. He was just, like you said, so many opportunities gifted by Seattle. And he just, even the refs were helping him out, honestly. Like a couple of calls were very favorable to our direction. But This Houston team is just good to me. Like, even in that game, everything was going wrong. They still had a chance to win in like multiple different ways. It just, once again, CJ couldn't come through. Their offense, I put a lot of on their OC. Like, some of his calls, I'm trying to think of this one specific play. It might have been in the third quarter. It was 3rd and 1. He runs it to the left side. Again, they're getting zero push on this left side the entire game. And even the announcers are laughing at this guy, being like, "That was why not just do a QB sneak there on 3rd and 1? Because you know you're going to go for it again if you're going for it, if you're running it on 3rd and 1." So they line up 4th and 1. They run the exact same play to the left side. Again, a play they just lost half a yard on, and they lose a full yard the next time. So there's a lot of dysfunction with Houston. I think everyone's going to be down on it. On the flip side, 49ers on Sunday night had a huge win, right? They won 20-10 in a game where I didn't think they looked good at all. I thought that was just a pure McCaffrey, put the team on your back.
Oh, yeah.
Win the game for your offense. He won't be able to do that against a Houston defense. This Houston defense is legit. Like, Sam Darnold, he was the one that really stole that game, right? As bad as CJ was, Sam Darnold had 2 drives to open the game up that were just incredible. He was automatic. Him and, we talked about Jackson Smith-Njigba. They're just in tune right now, and that's what happened in that game. But you saw in that second half, Houston's defense has kept them in the game. They got the strip sack touchdown. Like Chad said, the blocked field goal. They were just a team that never quits. They never die, and I like that type of mentality for a team that just got embarrassed now on a short week where I talked about the public was going to have their week. This was their past weekend. This is going to be a huge public side, the 49ers. And to me, I was hoping the line would flip again. I could see this getting up to -2. Like, just so we saw the charge, I could see this getting up to -2, -2.5. Professional money will come on this Houston side because it is a good spot for this defense at home and a get right against a team, the 49ers, that you can keep backing Mac Jones. It's working for you. He's making the plays and everything like that. But I do think we see Brock Purdy. I think he rushes back because how can he not be worried about his job right now? He's in a spot where they're 3-0 in the division, this 49ers team. So at 5-2, 3-0 your division, he's got to be feeling a little bit like this is a lot of Mac Jones. Mac Jones is carrying this team right now. So I could see him rushing back, and this line to me is a Purdy line. If it was Mac Jones, I could see Houston being -3. This to me, they're pricing in 1.5 into 2 points maybe into Purdy here. So I like this early number here on Houston.
Yeah, look, I agree with everything you've said, except for Brock Purdy is worried about his job. Brock Purdy, who just signed a $55 million a year contract, is not worried.
Think that matters?
Is not worried about his job and losing it to Mac Jones. There is no world in which where that is a conversation.
I'm a Carson Wentz survivor. You're a Mitch Trubisky survivor. What are you talking about right now? None of that money means anything. Purdy has had one good year. Like, all right, he can come back. He gets hurt again, and Mac Jones keeps winning games. That's a real conversation.
That's a real conversation. If Brock Purdy gets hurt again and continues to struggle and can't stay healthy, he's not worried about his job after a 3-game absence.
So the last pick in the NFL draft, because he was small-bodied, who can't stay on the field, isn't worried about his job right now because he just got paid a bunch of money from an organization that moved on from the number 3 pick in the NFL to him. I think you're not reading this one right. It's a real thing. You're 5-2 with a guy that apparently the head coach loved and got overstepped by Lynch to take someone else. Like, that Mac Jones stuff is real. So I don't know. It's just an interesting spot.
All right. I'm nothing if not flexible in my beliefs.
I'm plugged in. I'm just letting you know, like, the plugged in world, that's a real thing going on.
All right, so you're giving me not speculation, you're giving me sourcing.
Yeah, it's Mac Jones. This is real. Purdy needs to get healthy and come back and play well. Like, he doesn't want to go into next offseason with all this hanging over him. He needs to get right because the way the kid's playing, Mac Jones, who I don't think he's as good as Purdy, he's winning games right now and he's playing well. And he's got like a bum shoulder and a bum knee. That's tough. That's a really, if you're a football team, you rally around those type of guys.
Well, by the way, for context, for those who don't remember, whatever it was, 21, 22, that's when Mac Jones and Trey Lance were both talked about as going to the Niners, and everyone thought it was going to be Mac Jones at number 3, and everyone was betting huge sums of money it was going to be Mac Jones at number 3. And then it came out 48 hours before that it might be Trey Lance, and then people were betting huge sums of money that Mac Jones wouldn't go number 3, including our friend Simon, who we did a segment on our old show where you had pulled over from the side of the road on the way to or from the sports book, where you just made a massive, massive bet on Mac Jones to not go number 3. So I can't deny you know of what you speak when it comes to being inside this particular conversation.
I know I have good people inside the 49ers organization. I always have, and people I trust. So, that situation, again, like you said, it could end up being nothing. Purdy comes back, plays the rest of the year. They make the playoffs or somehow win this division. But as we say right now, it's, like I said, I don't feel good betting against Saleh or, Shanahan here. I just said they're probably the best coaching tandem of football right now. What they've done with this team is incredible. But they're another team. I just think they're batting way above their head. Eagles points differential is +5. 49ers point differential is +7. So it's like, it's the same thing. It's like two teams that are winning games they probably shouldn't be winning, but Eagles are much healthier, getting right. 49ers, they're not going to get these pieces back. So it's impressive what they did Sunday, but how can they not be overvalued by the general public right now? And flip side, Texans, we're both disgusted with them. Like that CJ was awful, but you got to do it, people. I know it's gross. Just got to wash away what happened last week. It's a new week. You're getting a good number. Try not to overthink it.
If I had stayed up for that game, I don't think I would have slept yet, because it would have ended at like 1 o'clock, 1:30. I would have been so angry. It would have taken me until now to finally start coming down. Today's show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. It's opening night in the NBA, which means it's time to shoot your shot on Hard Rock Bet. Your home for hoops action all season long. Need a little help with your first bet? Check out the streaks heating up inside the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. You can find live odds to bet on all of these streaks right in the Hard Rock Bet app. The Warriors have won and covered the spread in 7 straight games as road favorites against the Western Conference. The Thunder have won 6 in a row at home against the Western Conference. Plus, all week on Hard Rock Bet, you can get a NBA parlay boost for the games. There's new promos every day. Boost your same game parlay or SGP Max so your bet pays extra winnings. Here's a parlay I like tonight. Lakers money line, OKC money line, and both games to go under. No matter what you like to bet, there's new promos every day. So if you're listening to this later, there's no bad day to download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. Buffalo at Carolina. Carolina +7.5. Look, Bryce Young has the high ankle sprain. So Dave Canales is saying he's day-to-day. There are other reports saying he's expected to miss the game. I think it's ticked up because people expect it to be Andy Dalton. I love the Panthers so much at full strength that I realized when I was looking at my accounts, I bet this at +7 during the summer, because I thought that the Panthers at this point would be so good that the number would have been shorter. They're good, but without Bryce Young, I can't believe that Bryce Young is the deciding factor for us in this game.
I don't know if he is, and I think that was a good read by you. You definitely got lucky with your read that Buffalo would be as bad as they are right now, but a good read on the Panthers being better. Like if this was Bryce, probably would be 6.5, 6.
If it was Bryce, I'd love it. I'd feel so good.
I'm shocked you're scared off about being Andy. I thought as rusty as he looked last week, you expect a full week of practice. This should be a nice spot for him. This is a Bills team that can't stop their run, and they might have one of the best running backs in football right now. No, they don't believe it because they're still trying to give Chuba Hubbard touches, but
yeah, right.
They have a good running attack, and we've talked. This team is different at home. The Panthers are just simply different. So brutal. This is technically a get right spot for the Bills after they've been so bad by a week. They should play well here, but the data doesn't back those type of things up. Usually teams come out sluggish in these type of games. So we'll see. I'll check out the injury report for the Bills, see what guys are getting back. Ed Oliver obviously came back, was a huge instant jolt to that defense in a big way. But Panthers +7.5. I don't know. Kind of love it. It just feels like it's too much respect for this Bills team. They don't, just like the Eagles. I don't know where is it warranted? Is this defense good enough to be catching a touchdown and a half. Like, we got Andy Dalton with his best receiving core since he's had AJ Green in his Cincinnati days. Like, Tedderone McMillan's a stud. Like, they just
is.
They have a lot of guys that are just really good, and
their
really
defense is improving every single week.
Yeah, so I don't know,
All right.
Chad. I kind of love
listen,
the Panthers.
Listen, here's the truth. I'm locked in on this either way. So
yeah, you got to bet it again though. If you get 7.5,
if I get 7.5, maybe I'm betting it again.
Got it.
Like, this feels like we've got an early indicator on what could be a brass balls going with Carolina at 7.5 against the Buffalo Bills. That'll be interesting to see as we get more reports from Thursday, from the injury reports. Oh God. New York Jets at Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals are 6.5-point favorites. This is what it's come to for the New York Jets. Joe Flacco's 3 weeks into his midseason career change, still learning the playbook in Cincinnati. A huge win on Thursday Night Football that we loved because we had the Bengals. He's nearly a touchdown favorite. And this line has gone up 2 points since the Jets game on Sunday. The line was 4.5 on Sunday. It's now 6.5. Simon. 100% every model is going to have the Jets as the side to bet in this game. We do not know who will be the starting quarterback. We do know for the Jets, we do know that Justin Fields in the last 2 games. Do you know how many total passing yards he has in the last 2 games?
80?
91. Yeah. I'm glad that you went so low. 45.
No, I've noticed it's been atrocious. I've watched
45 and 46. He's not even playing quarterback anymore.
I know. It's a train wreck, and they have so many injuries too. Like, I can't believe it though. Joe Flacco is -7. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this one because you're right. Like, my model wants us to take it. I mean, the money line, you're getting +270 against Flacco. That's insane. You're almost getting 3-1 on your money betting against Joe Flacco.
I'd almost rather take the money line, because
yeah, right.
I'd put a little bit less than my full unit on it.
Just because they haven't won a game yet this year.
Yeah, like.
But I told you, Aaron Glenn's not a real coach. He's not a serious head coach. I saw a clip. He's calling other coaches that ask them how they handle telling a starter their bench and going with another guy, or what he should do with his starting quarterback position. It's a disaster, and they're just a disaster organization. So yeah, it's like I said, this week there's so many lines I hate. I don't even want to bet. I guess I have to take a position because that's what we do on the show. I'll give out the Jets, but man, you can hear my voice. I'm probably with Chad. I'd rather just bet the money line +270, +280 if I can find it, rather than even taking the number here because. Like you said, what are we going to backdoor Fields or Taylor? Like, these are not backdoor quarterbacks, but they are the type of quarterbacks that can get a stupid lead and hold on to it by running the ball with their legs. But yeah, it's just disastrous. But
look, I trust Tyrod Taylor a lot more than I trust Justin Fields. And the only time we've bet the Jets and that they've covered this year was that game against the BUCS, which was a Tyrod Taylor miracle game. I've actually been really proud of us this year that we haven't bitten on the Jets. Like, it's the
they've been that terrible though. I won on them against Pittsburgh week 1. I know.
Right. I guess we did.
Yeah, but I'm with you. Like, it's just a team we don't trust and can't get a read on. They're tough. So
they have nothing exceptional.
No.
That we can hold on to. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. This line has dropped from 5.5 to 4.5. New Orleans +5.5 is now +4.5. So that tells me the wise guys have been coming in on New Orleans since last night's game. Here's my worry, and I have a very specific opinion on this game. I worry that the New Orleans Saints are going to become to us the same team that the Panthers have been. We see enough each week that we feel encouraged, and they're a couple lucky breaks away each game from actually staying in it and covering, as they were last week against the Bears, as they were the week before against the Patriots. But in reality, they're not that team. And I think this is a bad matchup for them. And I think it's time to get on the Baker train.
I'm not there yet with this Bucks team. That was a bad Baker game. Obviously, the Lions, they should have lost that game by 40 though. Like Goff.
Oh yeah, totally.
Goff was terrible in that.
I
game,
can't believe that we had to sweat that.
Yeah, honestly. So, I mean, this Bucks team, Chad, they don't. I know they blew a team out the week before, but like, they're another team they have -1 point differential. Like, I get it, they're 5-2, but all those games, remember they were winning on last-second field goals. So 6.5, obviously, on the Saints, that was aside. We talked a little bit Sunday night. That was a great number.
Yeah.
Sucks that we missed it and that it's gone now, that we're stuck with the 4.5. But you're probably right. Maybe I'm too close to it, but this is just I don't know how this Bucks team, with all their injuries, as bad as the Saints team is, it's a divisional game, and they're catching more than a field goal. So if it was -3, I honestly would have no issue taking the Bucks. It's all about the line with them. Like this year, they've been very profitable. If you've been pricing in those type of games and those lines, this is not a Bucks line to me. This is still a Saints number. The Bucks, like we said, when they get guys back, if they get Godwin back, if Bucky Irvin is back this week, if they do get a couple guys in their secondary back, I could come to your side, Chad. But as we sit here right now, I can't trust them. And this Saints team that played really bad in the weather, we've seen them play well at home indoor. Like every game they're in, they're usually close games. This is a close game type of number. So I'm with you. They're slowly becoming a favorite team of mine, the Saints team. But yeah, it's about the number. Like I'm not banging the table for it because it's not +6.5, but I still think there's value here that's been overlooked at +4.5. I got this at 3.5. So if you do like the Bucks, you can be patient. I do think the pros will bet this one down for you. We'll wait and see too. Emeka Egbuka didn't look right in that game. Looked like he was playing on a not fully healed hamstring, and now they lost again. Mike Evans for the season. Does he just force it in this game? Emeka Egbuka, he comes out there because they need him. Like they can't rely on. Was it Tez Johnson? This kid that's like come out of nowhere. Yeah, he's so incredible, good. But yeah, it's asking a lot for Baker. And you saw last night, Baker just didn't have his game. So it's interesting. Short week, second back-to-back road game for the Bucks. -4.5. I thought this would be a more public side. Right now, the money is definitely towards the Saints. The tickets right now, it's about every book is about 90% towards this Bucks team. So there's no doubt this is going to be a pros versus Joes. The public will be on the Bucks, and you're right. The pros, we might be enamored with the Saints team. We're buying fool's gold here.
Yeah. Look, I watched that game last night, and then when I was thinking about it late night, and then, well, late night for me, 10:30. And then this morning, the Lions hammered the Bucks with man-to-man coverage. They were awesome. And they were on one last night. That defense was playing out of its mind. The pass rush was insane. That's the Saints, they live in zone coverage. And like Baker lives beating zone coverage. Baker's the best quarterback in the league on an EPA per attempt basis against zone. I think he's going to eat these guys up. I think coming back, like, it's going to be quieter. It's not going to be amped the way Detroit was. Like, we love Detroit no matter what the number last night, because we believe, like, Baker's magic is going to run out against a far superior team. I don't think it runs out against a team that plays the exact defense he likes to eat up. That's my take on the game. Tennessee at Indy. Indy is a 13.5 point favorite. Simon, our beliefs are being tested. That's all I can say about this.
Yeah, we're supposed to be in Tennessee, but I don't care. I'll take the Colts -13.
Are you taking the Colts, or are we like, you're actively going to take the Colts here?
Yeah, and I'll throw him in our money line around Robin. I'll get him down to I need to get him down to 5.5. I'll take him down to 6.5. 6.5. That's how much I don't respect this Tennessee team. They're just terrible. So yeah, can they get a backdoor junk touchdown? Sure, but you have arguably the best running team in football, the Colts, going against one of the worst run defenses in all football, and you simply just have to scheme around Jeffrey Simmons. Like
who we don't know if he's going to play because remember he missed half the game with a hamstring injury.
Yeah, I don't know.
It has come down. It was at 14 and now it's 13.5.
Yeah, I'm sure pros are betting Tennessee. If, like you said, Christian Gonzalez shut down Tennessee's number one receiver. He didn't play in the game. Really didn't play. So they don't even have their number one receiver. He could play in this game, which they need, but I think Lockett has to be released from them. Like, they're just totally dysfunctional right now, this Tennessee team. So they need Ridley back. They need some type of offensive weapon because the guys they had out there last week just were not getting open, getting it done. So it's bad for Tennessee. This just feels like a really bad matchup. And like we always say, these big spreads in divisional games, weird things can happen. But you also saw exactly what happened last week with the Raiders, where some of these teams just can't save themselves right now, and they're running into teams that are just buzzsaws. So we'll see. The Colts just feel like a really well-oiled machine right now. And I don't see them taking this game lightly because it is a divisional game. I think they'll be fully prepared and ready to play in this one. And it's painful. It's the Tennessee team that probably is a good number, 14.5, 14, but at 13.5, I'll take that value. I'll take the Colts.
I actually feel like when you're playing the way the Colts are right now and you're dominating the way they are, you want to keep doing it. Like, you are so freaking motivated to continue to be that excellent and to elevate yourself into the upper tier of the NFL ranks right now. I think they're so freaking psyched with the way they're playing, and they're coached so well right now. I don't see them taking even a second of this game lightly against the Titans. I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to be on the Titans. I was antsy about taking the Colts. I appreciate you booing my confidence on this game. Dallas at the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are currently 3-point favorites. First game I thought about on Sunday night continues to be in my head. The Denver Broncos -3 will be Chad's choice in my model, Simon. I like a good team as a home fave that struggled against a good team that won easily. The Cowboys won easily against second and third tier receivers on Sunday against the Commanders. I know you want to say something about Bo Nix. So before I dig into it, I want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, we fought over this one. We both love it. I was happy to hear that you were making this your choice. It's just a great spot, great number. Hopefully people can get this while they can. This is going to go up to -3.5, -4. It's just a number that's going to keep moving. The simple fact that, yes, the Cowboys can score at will. They are an incredible offense. This should be a bad match for them. Denver's defense, who has not impressed at all this season, they need to step up here and really shut down a Cowboys offense that, yes, they're incredible. They're a juggernaut, but it's usually against bad teams and bad defenses. Like, this is a real test for this Cowboys offense that, they're just going through everybody. Dak, we've seen it. He does struggle with pressure. We've talked all the injuries on the offensive line. This should be the matchup for Denver. And on the Bo Nix side, I mean, the guy set records, right? First quarterback in NFL history, 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns in the same quarter. It's insane. Like, what he did against that Giants team, he was deader than dead for 3 quarters. He did absolutely nothing. He was terrible. And to have the narcissistic self-belief that he does is incredible. Like, that's why these guys are professionals, right? They have that belief you can come back and win that game. That is something they should build on. So I love the spot for Denver. It should be not a launching point for this team, but like they had so much hype coming into the year, and that hype has been extinguished, right? Most people, I just don't think they're on this team like they were before the year. Like, no one's saying this team is going to beat the Chiefs in this division at all, right? Maybe some are still out there, but I just think this is a team that's still being a little bit sold low on in Denver, especially after all these people who bet them last week. They were mad at them. Like, even though they
Yeah.
won for us in our money line round robin, they didn't cover people's teasers. They were horrible on the number.
I bet him at 7, and I'm furious.
Right. And you say one of the craziest things ever. You thought you still had a chance to cover in that game. I was just like, Chad is
Totally.
just a crazy person.
By the way, narcissistic self-belief. It's not just for quarterbacks. It's also for suburban dads living in central Connecticut, just admiring the fall foliage.
Yeah, you're a crazy person. I just love when you said it. I was like, I can't believe you honestly think you have any right or even a
Simon,
chance to cover.
if you don't know by now that I live in an irrationally optimistic world, and I always believe that the fluky is going to go my way. Like in my house, my wife believes that if there is a 1% chance of something bad happening or having it, she or me or our kids are going to have it. If there is a 1% chance of something good happening, I believe it is going to happen to me.
That's a better way to live, honestly.
It's a very good way to live.
But yeah, Denver, grab it when you can. It just feels a great match for them against a Cowboys team that is better than we all perceived, but this just feels like a type of game that's just a touchdown game for the Denver. So
matchup game. My belief is a matchup game. I just like the Broncos defense and how they pressure, how they are very good at keeping teams from converting on third down. I think they shot themselves in the foot so many times against the Giants. They had, I think, 4 defensive penalties, 3 PIs, or roughing the passer, all of which converted into big plays when the Giants were out of it. Like, I watched that game because I was invested, and it was so frustrating because the Giants, the Broncos defense kept giving it back to the Giants again and again and again. So to me, this was about spot, about perception, and about individual matchup. Broncos defensive edge, Nick Bonito versus Dak Prescott. Chad's choice. Denver Broncos, -3. Are you ready for the primetime spotlight? Because I know there's a couple games in here that we want to talk about that I think are really interesting. We're going to bet these games. People are going to think about these games. It's going to be exciting to sweat these games at the end of Sunday and Monday. First game, Green Bay at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is down to 3 from 3.5. You keyed on this game Sunday night. I hope people were listening because I bet it at 3.5. I know you did too. How do we feel at 3?
Still on Pittsburgh, but I got some calls from some guys about it. So it's nice to see the number moved our way. But I know some pros who really like Green Bay in this spot. So still confident in it, but obviously I wish people could have got the 3.5. And I think we might be able to still get back there. Like, if pros really like the Green Bay this much, maybe we'll get back up to it. The view they have, which I agree with, which I understand they're coming to the market with, is Parsons looked like he finally has gotten right with that defense last week against Brissett. Isn't this quarterback the exact same as what he went against last week? A quarterback that can't move that much, that's older in the pocket. And, I get that. I think we both agree. I just do not trust this Green Bay team. I don't think they're good. And it's like, isn't this a Tomlin spot and a Tomlin number? Like a 3.5, 3+3 dog at home, Sunday night. Aaron Rodgers against Green Bay, all of it. I can't get away from it. It's killing me. Like, I love this one. I'm so torn here. There's pros on the other side because I thought this was going to be Joe's versus pros, just like these other games where it's like public will be all over Green Bay. The professionals will bet Pittsburgh just because this is such a matchup where Pittsburgh got embarrassed. The last time we saw them, they got lit up by Joe Flacco. And Joe Flacco made fun of them, basically saying he didn't even know the offense. He knew if he just waited, there's going to be windows in that defense because Pittsburgh runs the same exact defense. Even when they're giving up 30 points in the game, they didn't change their defense the entire game. So, I mean, if that's not a rally week from Tomlin this weekend, that defense, right? I feel like we have to pay for the loss, Chad. Like, this is just a game we can't avoid. If we back Tomlin on certain spots, we know when to fade him. It feels like we have really good rhythm with Tomlin, know when to back him, when to go against him. And we might bite the bullet here. This might be a bad one. The pros might be right on Green Bay, but I can't avoid it, especially at +3.5. Couldn't avoid it. +3 Still love it. Still think this should be under a field goal. Good value to me on this Pittsburgh team. And I'm shocked. I really am that it came down. I really thought we would be able to give out 3.5 on this show, but yeah, early professional money is coming on Pittsburgh. It is what it is.
Mike Tomlin, 9-2-3 against the spread as a dog of 3 or more at home, thanks to Killer Sports.
That.
Yeah, I like the thing I can't get out of my head is, I love Matt LaFleur, and I was on the Packers a few weeks ago off of their bye, because I thought he would have sort of fixed a lot of the challenges this offense has been having. And they still looked bad against the Cardinals. Like, they have talent all over the field. Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft, Jordan Love. The defense has Micah Parsons. They've got really good players. And they don't seem to be able to figure out how to be a great, complementary, awesome team right now. They had a good game against the Lions, and who knows, maybe that was just a fluky game for the Lions, right? And so it's hard to look back at that game and think, oh, the Packers are amongst the elite in the NFL right now. And that's what this line is saying. And I think it's discounting a little bit of the success the Steelers have had, and the fact that the last time anyone saw them was against the Bengals. But don't forget, this is now, the Steelers have had one game in almost 4 weeks, right? Because they had the bye heading into the Bengals game, and now they've been off for 10 days. So it's just another chance for them to get healthy and to get better and make adjustments. And Mike Tomlin at home as a dog after a game that he's lost, he just gets better.
We can't avoid it.
We can't avoid it.
We love it.
Washington at Kansas City. So listen, this game's at 10.5. Kansas City's a 10.5 point
Crazy.
favorite. Obviously, it was 4.5 on Sunday afternoon. I will tell you that as soon as Jayden Daniels limped off the field on Sunday, I went to try to bet Kansas City at -4.5, and it was showing it was available, but it wouldn't accept my ticket. Here's my question.
That's also how you get banned.
Well, I've been banned. I'm down to 2 places I can bet in Connecticut.
Look at you.
This game, do we have to ask ourselves, forget about passing it because Jayden Daniels isn't playing and we've lost 6 points of value. Do we have to think about playing the Chiefs? Because from a matchup point of view, maybe we are getting value. Maybe the Commanders are actually should be 13-point underdogs.
Shoo, I don't know. It's tough because Mariota, honestly, this year is not that big in my model, not that big of a step down compared to Jayden Daniels. Just because Jayden Daniels has been hurt all year. He's been playing on a bum leg, and he's not looked good. Where Mariota, I know he's up and down. That's Mariota's style. Like, he's going to run for 20 yards and maybe throw a 60-yard bomb. The next pass, fumble the snap. It's just, that's the Mariota experience. That's why he's a backup. But 10.5 is a lot of points here at Hard Rock. That's a lot of points. So I'm tempted to do it. I know the Chiefs look like an absolute juggernaut and like the best team of football, which they are. But that Raiders thing was unique. That's a team they hate, a team that talks smack about them, a team that I think their DB was putting up a picture of Kermit the Frog, and like something like mocking Mahomes. So it's like they thoroughly embarrassed that Raiders team. They literally, I don't know if you watched into that Chiefs game. They put a backup in with like a minute to go in the third quarter, and they basically kneeled down at the end of the game, even though they were gonna have to punt anyway back to the Raiders. They were just like, we're not even gonna run a play against you guys. That's how, like, they're not even gonna run the clock out. So I just think it's a lot to ask Mahomes. We talked those stats. He just doesn't blow teams out. They just don't show everything usually. And that Raiders one felt like personal, where Washington, God willing, Chad, we get down by 21 in the third quarter, we're going to be alive with Mariota. Like, he's never going to stop fighting. So I'm not going to force this one in because I don't have – it's Tuesday. We have no idea if McLaurin's playing. We have no idea if Debo's playing. If Mariota doesn't have the number 1, number 2 receiver, I don't care if this is 13.5. I'm just not going to be putting money into this Washington team. And I'm happy to do what I did last week with the Chiefs, throw them in a teaser, get the number down lower, even though I didn't need to. It's just I always feel more comfortable doing that in the home. So, this is a game where you said we missed it. We should have got the Chiefs. We knew Daniels probably wasn't going to play this one. Anyone that got that early number, great play. At this point, it just feels like it's either Washington to me or Chiefs in a teaser. That feels like the only option.
All right, so we like Baltimore 6.5. We're thinking about New England -7. Simon says is Houston -1. Carolina +7.5 has brass balls potential. Who else are we talking about?
Denver and Pittsburgh.
Well, also Indy -13.5. Denver -3. Pittsburgh +3.5. I mean, it's a hard week. There's just, there's fewer games. So, significantly fewer games. But that's what we're thinking about. That's where we're leaning. Hopefully, people can get some of these numbers before they move. That Denver line is definitely going to move soon. This has been Sharp or Square, part of the Volume Podcast Network. We will be back on Thursday with the games. We are narrowing down, plus our survivor pick, our head-to-head battle, brass balls, so much more. Watch or listen on YouTube at Sharp or Square. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Also download from Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe, leave us 5 stars, say whatever you want. Feedback is a gift. Until next time, love you.